Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good night to some of you around the world. We're here tonight for the last race in WRC of the day. We are here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Welcome in to everyone in the Twitch chat, everyone in the TikTok. We've got CB, Aviation, Xavier, we've got Scooters, all in the Twitch chat. We've got Vinny, we've got Marley, QZRT, we've got M. Plenty of people in the TikTok chat as well, ready for the last race of the day. And I'm sure it is going to be an absolute corker. We've got 22 of WRC's best drivers taking to the track here tonight. And the Austrian Grand Prix, always one that gives us brilliant action. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. And this should be an absolutely brilliant Grand Prix. But before we go into the Grand Prix, first we must qualify. And we've got 16 minutes and 50 seconds left of this qualifying session, as Coxey is the first man out on track, looking to try and set the first lap time of the session. Marley saying, do you like Austria? And if so, what makes you like it? It's definitely a very good track. If so, what makes me like it? I would say how short the lap is, to be honest. I like the fact that it's lap after lap after lap. You don't really get a break around here, and that makes the drivers a little bit more on edge, can make some drivers a little bit more prone to mistakes. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a fan of just the track layout in general. It's very, very good for overtaking and for battling. You know, you can go wheel to wheel for practically an entire lap around this track, which definitely makes it one of the more enjoyable ones to watch and one of the easier ones to commentate, because the talking really is done on track rather than me. So definitely going to be a fun race. We've got Chazza in the TikTok chat as well. Welcome in, Chazza. Hope you're having a good evening, my friend. We've got Aviation. We've got Kian in the TikTok chat as well. Welcome in, Kian. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Kian racing once more here in WRC as Coxey comes towards the final couple of corners then to set the first lap time in this session. On board with the Haas car. Around the final corner they come and making their way towards the line. Coxey with a 1 minute 5.9, and that is the benchmark for everyone else to try and achieve. Big Vin with a 1 minute 6.3 slots into P2 at the moment. We've then got Aaron, who goes into P3 with a 1 minute 7.2. Sam here with a 1 minute 7.5. We've got Girthy, who's just coming around the final couple of corners. MCL, one of the veterans of WRC, to the top of the timey sheets with a 1 minute 5.908. We've got F1 Mikey Boy, who's invalidated his lap through turn 1. Still pushing on, though, with the battery. Jack Plays just coming out of the pit lane. Up the gunner now goes to the top. I may not agree with his username, but I can definitely vouch for his pace. A 1 minute 5.4. Great lap from the Audi driver. We've got QZRT saying, I can beat 1 minute 5.917 on Gran Turismo 7 with my Ferrari Vision. Definitely would love to see a bit of action with the Ferrari and these Formula 1 26 cars. Chazza saying, my evening's been good. How has yours been? Absolutely brilliant, my friend. Commentated just about half an hour ago for the reverse Dutch Grand Prix, and what a race that was. So hopefully Austria goes well too. TTV Kian saying, I've got a 2-year-old attempting to do cartwheels next to me. Kian, hop off the set. Try and show him how it's done, my friend. I'm sure you've got a great cartwheel in you. Try and give some lessons. We've got Best Noah in the chat as well saying JP's back. We are indeed. WRC is back, as am I, as Emmanuel, the first man into the 1 minute 4s. A 1 minute 4.6 for him. Marley asking who won the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. It was this man right here. F1 Mikey Boy, league owner and winner of the most recent social in WRC. Damon Barrett in the chat. Hey man, back again. I got in the lobby but didn't get me in quick enough, so I'm here watching you. That is, I must say, quite annoying, Damon. I will try and have a word with some people and make sure that you are able to race as soon as possible. QZRT saying the VSC works incorrectly in reverse tracks, by the way. I did think so. I had, I believe it was Aviation in the Twitch chat giving me some lessons on how the VSC it works around the reverse tracks. Is F1 Mikey Boy now coming to the penultimate corners? What can F1 Mikey do? As I say, the most recent race winner in WRC comes to the line now, goes fourth fastest with a 1 minute 5.3. We've got Nova Piper in third with a 5.3 as well. We've got BP Ace in second with a 1 minute 4.7. And we know how quick a BP Ace can be. Looks like he's going for another lap. So let's stick with the VSC. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat and trying to commentate at the same time. We'll stick with BP Ace on this lap. Paddy saying, you interested in other racing classes such as GT3s or hypercars? Me personally, I am really trying to get into a lot of different motorsports. I've watched WEC for about 2 years now. I'm not very well versed on it, but I absolutely love the racing in WEC. I really like British touring cars. Little bit of a fan of MotoGP. Been trying to get into that recently. I have recently been trying to get into IMSA as well, but I'm finding that a little bit complicated. But definitely, I'm a big motorsport head. You can say that much. I do like my cars that race quite quickly around tracks. PTV Kian saying, he sat and watching the cars go round now. He sit next to me and watch me now. He threw his teddy at the telly in the APM race when I got the disqualification. Well, at least you've got a fan on your side, Kian. It sounds like he's invested in the racing. Is TTV Kian is currently sat in... Where is TTV Kian? Currently in 21st, still in the pit lane. As BP Ace goes 20 milliseconds ahead of Emmanuel and is currently on provisional pole position. We've got Andy Price just coming through the middle sector. He has not set a lap yet. Marley saying he just raced in Monaco last lap and through the last corner I was second and Norris binned it. That is limbs for you, Marley. Congratulations, my friend. Aviation saying NASCAR is one of my least favourites. I want to say I've watched a few NASCAR races in my time. I don't recall what any of them have been, to be completely honest. But NASCAR, I don't think it's terrible. I just find it a little bit confusing. It's not my usual sort of motorsport, if that makes sense. As Andy Price has invalidated his lap. It was a 1 minute 5.9. That would have put him in P9, just ahead of Coxey. But Andy Price will need to go for another lap in this race. PTV Kian saying he's got his Merc hat on and ready to go. So definitely cheering on Kian then. Good to know you've got a little fan in your corner. That's absolutely brilliant, my friend. That must be absolutely amazing. That is wicked. Les Noah saying he's raced about 10 times at Austria in WRC. Noah, where is Noah in this race? Can I see? Oh no, Noah, you're not racing. I was convinced you were racing here tonight. I was trying to look out for your name. Javier saying, to be fair, Kian's 2-year-old is probably quicker than I am at the minute. He's probably quicker than me on the F126 game, to be honest. I am definitely not as good as I used to be on F1 games, that is for sure. The battery has taken it all out of me, and I don't understand a thing. As Emmanuel on his outlap, as F1 Mikey Boy, Nova Piper gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with F1 Mikey Boy. And that is really going to ruin Nova's race, or ruin Nova's qualifying, as Albon Lover, to the joy of the fans in the Twitch chat and the TikTok chat, goes into P4. Currently P3, if you take Nova Piper's grid penalty as well. And the fans will be going crazy in the grandstands as F1 Mikey Boy getting a slipstream here from his teammate Girthy. And F1 Mikey Boy, what is this first sector going to look like? A 10.5 up through the first sector. If he wants to try and get onto provisional pole, he definitely needs a lot more improvement than that. As he gets the slipstream, both cars pull out the way as there was contact there between the Ferrari and the Williams, and Girthy picks up a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Albon Lover. As through the middle sector we go, on board with F1 Mikey Boy. 7.5 tenths up is the Ferrari driver, pushing on, using the battery until there is absolutely nothing left. Mikey, the most recent winner in WRC, looking to try and make it back-to-back victories. The best way to do that is to get on to pole position. Mikey crosses the line. He lost nearly half a second in the final sector, but Mikey up into third place, ahead of Nova Piper, ahead of Albon Lover, and ahead of MCL. Matt Connor currently in 7th place. I believe we've got Emmanuel and BP Ace on laps at the moment. Emmanuel through the middle sector he goes. Doesn't look like he's on a push lap, to be completely honest. So let's stick with BP Ace then, as he makes his way through the middle sector on board with the Haas car. As Best Noah saying, watch Kian. Kian has gone into P16 with a 1 minute 7.2. We'll definitely try and find Kian when he goes on his next lap. Kian definitely got some fanfare in this race. As BP Ace then, round the final corner, what can the Haas driver do? Can he try and pull out a bigger gap out in front? The answer to that question is a resounding yes. 1 minute 4.4 for BP Ace. Currently on provisional pole position. But Emmanuel will have the right of reply and is going for that lap now. Is TTV Kian saying, I have the baby sat in my lap as we go for another lap. So here comes TTV Kian then. He's about to go on to his next lap. And Kian, this is going to be a very interesting hot lap for the Mercedes driver. He's got his kid sat in his lap as he takes to the Austria Grand Prix circuit. What a moment for TTV Kian. As into turn 1 we go with the Mercedes driver. Avoids running wide and Kian blasts up the hill towards turn 3. What's Kian's first sector looking like? As he crosses the time beam now, he's a 10.5 up. Is the Mercedes driver. Brilliant stuff from Kian, and I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say we are all willing Kian on to get a better result, but he might get a little bit held up by the Williams here, who runs wide to let him through. Through turn 4, Kian goes, and now towards turn 5, the middle sector. What does the Mercedes have in it? Towards the apex, clips it beautifully. He is 2/10 up through the middle sector. TTV Kian pushing on as he enables the straight mode, uses all of the battery. 2 corners to go for the Mercedes driver. TTV Kian looking for the improvement. Final corner. He gets through it well. Enables the straight mode. TTV Kian to the line. He's down in the final sector. But what a moment for TTV Kian. Absolutely brilliant stuff for Kian. I'm sure that we will see more of Kian later in this session. What a moment for the Mercedes man. Currently in 17th place, but has got the world in his hands. Absolutely brilliant stuff for the Mercedes driver. Damon Barrett saying, do you know if I'll be able to do any social races tomorrow? I'm free all day, or are they all full? I don't believe any of the attendances is up. I'm seeing F1 Mikey Boy in the chat saying that he's starting last for some fun. Mikey, question. Are the attendances up for tomorrow's social races yet? I want to say they're put out in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. But I might be incorrect on that. So, we will see. As Rigged comes into the pit lane. Andy Price, as Mikey gets himself disqualified, so he can start from the back. Definitely a good track to do a last to first challenge, it has to be said. Mikey saying the attendances will be out at 11:30 p.m. So that will be in an hour and 15 minutes for all of our international viewers. So an hour and 15 minutes, the attendances will be live. Make sure you are quick if you are looking to get involved, because trust me, attendances will go rapid. Solar in the TikTok chat. Hello, Solar. How we doing, my friend? Great to see you in the chat. A very dominant victory earlier on in one of our social races. Emmanuel out on an out lap. As Kian saying, next lap, next lap. Is Kian on another lap? Is Kian pushing on here? It doesn't look like it. Ian may have ran out of fuel here. Although he might have enough fuel to go for another lap. I'm not sure. He's not pushing on this lap. Does Kian have the fuel to go for another lap? We're on board with the Mercedes man. Is he coming into the pit lane? No, he's staying out. So TTV Kian then for one more lap in this session. And TTV Kian willed on by everyone in the TikTok chat, everyone in the Twitch chat. Kian pushes on. He's currently P16, needs 11 milliseconds to get to P15 through the first sector. He's half a tenth down, but we know he lost time in the final sector, so needs to save a bit of battery for the final sector, and he will have improvement through it. As turn 4 we go then with the Mercedes driver. We'll get a little bit of a slipstream from the car ahead of him as well. And that was, I believe, one of the Haas cars. It was. Through the middle sector we go then with TTV Kian. He's 7.5 tenths down, but has saved a lot of battery for this final sector, which is where he lost time. So most certainly could still gain it back in the final part of the lap as he makes his way round the final corner. Then he invalidates at the final corner, but gives us some weaving. A hello to all the fans at home. He ends the lap 7 tenths down, but TTV Kian, the people's champion in the Twitch chat and in the TikTok chat as well. Kian currently in P17, but it's crunch time here in qualifying. BP Ace, Emmanuel Albon Lover up into P3, ladies and gentlemen. The Albon Lover fans, where are you all? He's currently in P3. What a lap he is having. What a session he is having as BP Ace rounds the final corner then for what we can assume will be his final lap in this session. BP Ace drives for the line, 6 milliseconds down on his lap. So Emmanuel will get the right of reply then. He's currently in second place. I'm not sure if Albon Lover will get another lap in this session, as Big Vin now gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Girthy. As through turn 1 goes Emmanuel then. As F1 Mikey Boy coming in with the TikTok gifts, roaring his approval for the rest of the drivers. As that someone stopped right on the inside there of the apex of turn 3. Emmanuel all out of shape out of the top of the hill. As Mikey still spamming in the gifts. Absolutely brilliant from F1 Mikey Boy. Qualifying is now over. BP Ace will not get another lap. Albon Lover most certainly will. Emmanuel comes through the middle sector. What's the sector 2 split going to be as BP Ace gets himself disqualified? So that's going to put Emmanuel on provisional pole position. Yes, it is. BP Ace will start from 21st. Emmanuel, round the final couple of corners, validates his lap and will not improve. Matt Connor goes into second place. What about Albon Lover? Has the chance to take pole position in this session. He's a 10th up through the middle sector, so needs 3 tenths in the final sector to take pole position. The fans willing him on to take pole position. The first pole position of his WRC career it would be. Through the final corner comes the Williams driver, driving for the line. Albon Lover to the line. He goes into P2. He's a 10th off a pole. But P2 for Albon Lover. That is qualifying over, ladies and gentlemen. A chaotic end. Emmanuel takes pole position. It's Albon Lover who will line up P2. Matt Connors P3 with Nova Piper in P4. But the big talking points in this qualifying session, BP Ace and F1 Mikey Boy starting from the back of the grid. QZRT saying, yo JP, do you think buying PS Plus for a PS4 to play GT7 online is a good idea? Most certainly, my friend. I think any way to race online with other people is the only way you're going to get better. So most certainly, get in and get yourself doing some online racing. As F1 Mikey Boy saying 107 followers for 3,000. Come on, guys, hit them shares. Exactly that. I can't promote it more. We've got 133 of you in the TikTok chat. Ladies and gentlemen, get following down below. We really want to try and hit 3,000 followers by the end of today. This is the last stream today. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new, that you are following down below. That is the end of qualifying. It's Emmanuel on pole position, Albon Lover in second place. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a brilliant race coming up for you. The Austrian Grand Prix is up next. Welcome back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the formation lap here in Austria. Emmanuel will lead us away. Strategy looking a bit 50-50. Mikey from the back on soft compound tyres. We've got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers on the hards. Everyone else on the medium compound tyres. So that should be very, very interesting to see what tyre is the best. And we'll only find out that question and what strategy is the best at the end of the Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the TikTok, make sure you are following as we are going for 3,000 followers. And this is going to be an absolutely brilliant stream. I can assure you that. As we get involved, formation lap is on then. Solar heading off to bed. Good night, Solar. Take care, my friend. We will see you soon. As Erica asking, how long is the race? It's 30-something laps. I want to say about 35, if I'm not mistaken. We will see when the race begins. Here we go then. 36 laps, says Solar. So 36 laps then. Good night, Solar. Take care, my friend. As Emmanuel getting all out of shape on the formation lap and lining up into his grid slot. As F1 Mikey Boy coming through the middle sector then. And let's see what the drivers have in store for us. Mikey making everyone wait for as long as possible as he comes through the middle sector. Damon asking, what are the rules? Is it all assists off? You can't use steering assist or braking assist. But they're the only two that I believe you can't use, as well as like pit assist and things like that. As Mikey comes round then. And all that's left to do is wait for the 5 red lights and await the beginning of the Austrian Grand Prix. The engines roar to life here in Austria. The Styrian mountains alive with motorsport action. And we can go racing here in Austria. It's a poor start for Emmanuel as to the roar of the fans. Albon Lover leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Emmanuel up into second place after his poor start. Matt Connor is racing in third. We've got MCL in fourth with Up the Gunners into fifth. As into turn 3 we go then. Wheel-to-wheel action as people going very deep. And we've got one of the Red Bulls round. And that is Nova Piper, who was shunted into the back. And Nova Piper now down into 21st. There's F1 Mikey Boy already up into 13th. But into the lead then, Albon Lover and the Twitch chat. Absolutely loving that aviation screaming in the Twitch chat as Albon Lover leads here in Austria. Emmanuel right behind him, but Albon Lover roaring through into the lead. And as we come to the penultimate corner to the end of lap 1, it is going to be Albon Lover that leads the way from lap 1 of 36. Emmanuel in second place. Matt Connor runs third with Up the Gunners in fourth. MCL is fifth with Sidemen in sixth place. Look at MCL challenging away with Sidemen. We've got Up the Gunners under pressure as well as Emmanuel is putting Albon Lover under pressure. Towards turn 3 we go. Emmanuel round the outside. Albon Lover trying to defend this on the inside line as Emmanuel runs a little bit wide. Look at Matt Connor trying to get involved as well. But Emmanuel gets the exit. And Emmanuel back into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. But for how much longer? Because Albon Lover down the inside. There's a little bit of wheel banging between them. But Albon Lover straight back into the lead. But now Emmanuel back down the inside. The yo-yo racing taking place here in Austria as Matt Connor now down the inside of Albon Lover and through into second place. It's Emmanuel in second, Emmanuel in the lead, Matt Connor in second with Albon Lover in third place. Up the Gunners is in fourth with MCL in fifth, CB sixth with Sidemen in seventh place. Coxey runs eighth with Andy Price in ninth. Mikey Boy in 10th and looking to make 2 overtakes at once. They've got past Coxey. Can Mikey Boy get past Andy Price? Just has to back out of it for the time being. BP Ace currently running in 12th after he started from the back as well. Mikey still fighting away with Andy Price here. Might lose out as we're 3 abreast into turn 3. Down the inside goes Coxey. In the middle is F1 Mikey Boy. I believe that was rigged. They had to back out of it in the Cadillac as Matt Connor now takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. We've had 3 laps, 3 different leaders. Albon Lover, Emmanuel and Matt Connor. Matt Connor, one of the OGs in WRC and is flying through now into the lead here in the Styrian Mountains. What an opening 3 laps we've had. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And the drivers then continue on as we move towards lap 4. F1 Mikey Boy still trying to fight away with Andy Price. Just doesn't have the battery to do so. Through the middle sector, Emmanuel is gaining on Matt Connor. Towards turn 1 we go. Emmanuel deciding there are better places to go for a move like that, as Emmanuel thinks that time is now. He's looking towards the inside line. Is he able to try and get through on the McLaren driver? He pulls to the inside. Matt Connor around the outside, runs a little bit wide though. Emmanuel with the better exit. Matt Connor still with his nose in it. But Emmanuel now retakes the lead. But is Matt Connor going to be able to get straight back past? Because he's down the inside line at turn 4. And Matt Connor leads once again here in Austria. The yo-yo racing going absolutely crazy as Emmanuel back down the inside. Look at Albon Lover as well on the inside trying to get involved. Matt Connor and Emmanuel still wheel-to-wheel through the middle sector. It's the McLaren driver that manages to stay ahead. And this is absolutely incredible racing in the opening few laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. And there is still plenty more where this came from. If you are new to WRC Online League, make sure you're following down below. We're trying to get to 3,000 followers as into turn 1 we go. Albon Lover towards the inside, gets up into second place. Up the Gunners and Emmanuel, big contact. And off the road they both go. And when they come back on, CB now moves through into third place. Emmanuel is going to dive back up the inside, though. We're nearly 3 abreast as up the Gunners. Also down the inside of CB. CB now falls to 5th. But all this fighting action is allowing Albon Lover and Matt Connor to run away with this a little bit. It's down the inside. Goes up the Gunners on the hard compound tyres on Emmanuel. Runs it a little bit too deep, though. Emmanuel gets the switch back as into turn 5. Emmanuel versus up the Gunners. Mediums versus hards. And realistically, at this phase of the race, it's always going to be Emmanuel that wins out that fight on the medium compound tyres. Out in front then, Matt Connor leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Albon Lover in second place. Emmanuel runs third with up the Gunners in 4th. MCL is 5th with CB in 6th place. But all these positions look like they're about to change because up the Gunners has lost the position. And on to turn 1, up the hill we go. Albon Lover is into the lead of the race once more. Matt Connor in second place is going to look to try and take the position back again. Is he able to get up the inside? No, he's not. Albon Lover continuing to lead here in Austria. Matt Connor right behind him and looking to fight away. But Matt Connor does not have the fanfare that Albon Lover has. So many people happy to see Albon Lover fighting away at the front. We're on board with the Williams driver. MCL now gets through into third as Matt Connor retakes the lead of this race. And the racing action continues then. CB now tries to get through on MCL and does so. Up into 4th place is CB. Emmanuel in third. It's Albon Lover in second, and Albon Lover is going for the move again as he moves through on the inside. Albon Lover to the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's Matt Connor in second place, Emmanuel third with CB in 4th. MCL runs 5th with up the Gunners in 6th. But there's no point me even telling you the positions because they're always changing as Matt Connor once again through into the lead. Albon Lover gets the switch back though. And is he able to try and get through once more? Matt Connor very defensive into turn 4 as we've got a yellow flag deployed. And I believe that was at the back around Coxey, who has been off the road. There was a little bit of carbon fibre confetti going on down towards turn 4. And it is Coxey that doesn't have a front wing. We've got a car off in the middle sector. That was Sidemen, who's had a trip into the gravel as well. As it's Matt Connor then that continues leading. We're about to move on to lap 8 of this race as MCL with a very early pit stop on the medium tyres. As Albon Lover once again down to turn 1 takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Matt Connor in second place, still trying to challenge away, but watch out for Emmanuel in the background as we make our way up the hill and towards turn 3. Emmanuel towards the inside line of Matt Connor. That's going to leave Albon out in front safe without any sort of pressure on him. As Emmanuel and Matt Connor continue fighting away, neither of them really with any battery. As we get into turn 4, Albon Lover leads with Matt Connor in second. Emmanuel's third with CB now in 4th place. BP Ace is up to 4th place in this race. I haven't been checking his progress. He started from 22nd or 21st in this Grand Prix, is now running in 4th, and we're only on lap 8. Absolutely incredible stuff from BP Ace, who is looking to try and spoil the Emmanuel, Matt Connor and Albon Lover party. F1 Mikey Boy and Nova Piper come into the pit lane then. And we continue on lap 9. Emmanuel putting Matt Connor under a lot of pressure as towards turn 3 we go. Is the McLaren able to defend? Is the V-Carb able to get through? As there's contact, and it's Albon Lover! To the dismay and the heartbreak of all his fans in the chat. Albon Lover, he's hit in the rear. I'm not sure who it was. It was Matt Connor or Emmanuel. But Albon Lover now down into 8th place, and a sigh of no's in the TikTok and in the Twitch chat as everyone has got their head in their hands. Albon Lover hit in the rear, spun round at turn 3 and falls down to 8th place. And everyone will be hoping that Albon Lover can try and recover in this race, because that is not what the chat wanted to see. Matt Connor comes into the pit lane then, and it's BP Ace who leads the Grand Prix. Where did this man start? He started 21st. 10 laps into the race, he is leading. Absolutely incredible stuff as Aviation comes in with the gifted sub. Thank you very much, Aviation, for the support. As BP Ace continues to lead this race then. Emmanuel in 2nd place. CB in 3rd. Gerv is 4th with Andy Price in 5th. Albon Lover in 7th. Under pressure now from Rigged. As BP Ace, can anyone try and stop this man tonight? We know how quick he is. He started 21st and is currently in the lead. Absolutely insane stuff. TTV Kian saying Little One is loving this. TTV Kian in 21st at the moment. But really glad to hear that the Little One's enjoying the racing action. As BP Ace continues on then for the Haas car. As I'm not sure if we've got an admin in the chat. Can we get that person spamming banned, please? As CB moves through into 2nd place. Emmanuel now falls to 3rd. Looking for the switchback though. Little bit of contact between the rear end of CB and the front wing of Emmanuel. Both of them running out of battery. BP Ace doing very well to conserve the battery here as F1 Mikey Boy sets the fastest lap of the race. Currently in 11th and looking to put some pressure on MCL. As BP Ace leads then. Aviation, I wasn't talking about you spamming in the Twitch chat. There's someone spamming in the TikTok chat. Don't worry. The messages you sent, completely fine. Don't worry about it. We're not going to ban you for supporting Albon Lover. Don't worry. As BP Ace then continues on in the lead. CB runs in 2nd on the hard compound tyres. You would imagine the hards will be quicker at this point of the race, but Emmanuel scrapping away on the mediums. The CB may be struggling a bit on the hard compound tyres as Andy Price now comes into the pits. Here comes CB towards turn 1 we go and takes back the position, but all this fighting is only going to allow BP Ace to move further ahead in this race. Albon Lover moves up to 5th with Andy Price in the pit lane. I'm sure everyone will be absolutely loving that in the chat as Gerv, Emmanuel and CB continue fighting on. Harry Bowers saying, I'm a McLaren lad, but this race is like yo-yo, just as it should be. Exactly that. The racing action has been absolutely brilliant in this race so far, and we're only a third of the way through it as F1 Mikey Boy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Mikey looking for the last to first challenge in this race. The question is, can he pull it off? Matt Connor is the lead car on fresh tyres at the moment. Currently in 8th place. 2-lap-old hards. Everyone else has not pitted yet. But the real issue is now that CB has fallen out of the overtake boost of BP Ace because of the fighting between Emmanuel and CB. Emmanuel has now fallen back. The hard tyres really starting to become the better compound. As TTV Kian saying next lap, the little one is helping. So let's have a look then at TTV Kian. A special moment for the Mercedes man. We definitely wouldn't want to miss this. As TTV Kian towards the final couple of corners then. And let's see how this lap is for TTV Kian and the little one. Down the main straight we go with the Mercedes driver. Weaving, saying hello to everyone at home. Into turn 1 we go. Lovely line through turn 1. Getting right up against the grass as we make the way up to turn 3. Up the hill we go. Burning the battery into turn 3. bang on the brakes, clipping the apex beautifully. Incredible stuff. There's contact behind us there. That's Coxie and Aaron. As TTV Kian continues on then, towards turn 4 we go. Kian looking towards the inside line. Again, beautifully hitting the apex. Running a little bit wide on the exit, but nothing that will cost them too much time. Into turn 5 we go. Look at the apexes that are being hit here. This is gorgeous driving from TTV Kian. Every apex has been met. As through towards the penultimate corners we go then. High-speed corners, little bit wide on the entry, but we'll gain you time on the exit. Through the final corner we come. TTV Kian, lovely stuff, and he's going to make an overtake at the end of the lap. It looks like D-Ghost has just got a little bit more battery, but TTV Kian and the Little 'Un getting involved in some racing action as into the back of D-Ghost they go, but it won't be anything that will harm either of their races too much. As Kian continues on, fighting away with the Williams. Absolutely amazing stuff, Kian. Congratulations. As running wide there is the Ghost. And to the elation of the chat, TTV Kian up into 16th place. And that is the most excited you will hear me about an overtake all evening, as he's given us some weaving, celebrating the overtake. Absolutely incredible stuff. As 3 abreast in behind there with Coxis, Aaron and D-Ghost. D-Ghost is the man that loses out. But what a moment for TTV Kian. As we look forward then to the head of the field once more. And CB is really on the back of BP Ace now, hunting down the lead. SJ joining us in the TikTok chat. Welcome in. As we've got Adam in the chat as well, replying to Harry saying Connor will easily be in P1 when everyone else pits. And exactly that. Kian's currently down in P16 fighting away with Coxie. But Matt Connor in P7. But he's going to have a moment here. And there's a big crash in the middle sector. I believe that was MCL that went into the back of the McLaren driver. And there's big damage. Who has got the damage? It is MCL with the front wing damage as BP Ace comes into the pit lane then. And it won't be Matt Connor that's leading now. It will be F1 Mikey Boy when everyone comes into the pit lane. The commentator's curse comes out. Good to see you in the chat, Adam. Welcome in, my friend. As CB leads this race then. Gerv in second place with Emmanuel in third. Albon Lover fourth with F1 Mikey Boy in fifth place. Nova Piper sixth with MCL in seventh. Make that Matt Connor in seventh as the McLaren flies through and into seventh place. Matt Connor, I'm very surprised he didn't get damage from that contact, to be honest. Adam saying, gotta love a little For You page, fine JP. You gotta love it, don't you? Absolutely brilliant. Pleasure to have you in here, Adam. Honestly, hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you and good to speak to you as well. As F1 Mikey Boy and Nova Piper keep battling away. And this really is for the net lead of the race. We've got a yellow flag ahead of us, and that's for Emmanuel, who's currently running in third. Now make that fourth as Albon Lover goes through. Gerv's going to come into the pit lane, as is Albon Lover, as is Emmanuel. So Nova Piper and F1 Mikey Boy, those two battling away for the net lead of the Grand Prix, will go through into third and fourth. Nova Piper in the Red Bull looking towards the inside line, not able to make the move at the moment. He still sits in third, but is now gaining on the Ferrari, on the run up the hill. Towards turn 3 we go. Can the Red Bull get through? It's not even a contest. Like taking candy from a baby. And Nova Piper moves through into second place. CB still leading this race then after starting on the hard compound tyres. It's F1 Mikey Boy in third. Matt Connor running fourth. I'm surprised MCL has not been into the pit lane yet. But I would not be surprised if we see him in relatively soon. 9-lap-old mediums definitely won't be going too much longer into this race. As Adam's saying, I've only just got back into F1 and God, I think I'd be clear last in this nowadays. Honestly, I'm not good anymore. And I mean, you remember back in the day, I mean, I'm not going to say anything cocky, but I was pretty decent at the game. Now I am trash. If I were to race in one of these races, I'd probably be about 11th. So, yeah, the battery is very different. The cars handle very different. It's completely a different game to anything we have ever known in the F1 series. As Nova Piper leads as, I believe, was it CB that came into the pit lane? It was. JF1 in the Twitch chat saying, JP, can I have a shout out, please? Today is my 200th day as a WRC member. Congratulations, JF1, one of the OGs in WRC. Good to have you around for so long, Jay. F1 Mikey Boy, the league owner, currently in second place. Matt Connor in third, the highest man up without penalties so far. We've got M in the chat saying, JP, this commentary is low-key. If I compare to commentary, I'd currently compare you with F2 or F3. Thank you very much, M. That's a massive compliment. I do really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. That is the goal one day. Hopefully, we'll see ourselves in F2 or F3 or maybe even F1 one day. But for now, I'm bringing you this incredible racing action from WRC. And make sure, if you're not following, you are live. If you are not following, you are following down below. Because we are live 6 times a day, 7 days a week here on WRC. So make sure that you are following. Trust me, it'll be worth it. We're on the road to 3,000 followers. Harry Bowers saying, can you read the time penalties? We most certainly can. It's 3 seconds for Nova Piper, F1 Mikey Boy, Gerv Sidemen, Jack Plays, Up the Gunners. I don't agree with that. Sam here, and Your Average Brit. It's then 6 seconds for D Ghost and 9 seconds for Rigged, the Girthy, Coxie, and Big Vin. And then we've got 19 seconds in penalties for Aaron, who is really struggling in this race. L. Lawson saying, JP, don't you think Lawson is the GOAT? I do think he is one of the better drivers in Formula 1. He's definitely one of my favourites, I must say. As we've got LM saying, Crofty might as well quit if JP comes knocking. Maybe one day I will, who knows. As Nova Piper takes the lead, F1 Mikey Boy lets both McLarens go into turn 1. That is an interesting strategy from F1 Mikey Boy. Adam saying, how do you even get 19 seconds of penalties around Austria? Well, a lot of corner cutting. Probably some contact, track limits. I'm trying to think how else can you get penalties. Speeding in the pit lane. Yeah, you can probably accrue them quite easily. LM saying, low-key, if JP and JC come knocking at the door for F1, they'll get in instantly. Maybe I'll just email Formula 1 today. Do you know what I mean, guys? Maybe I'll just drop an invite and be like, yo, this is what I'm doing. Here we go, then. JF1 saying, just wait, JP. Next it will be 2 a.m, 4 a.m, 6 a.m, 8 a.m, 10 a.m, 12 a.m, 2 p.m, 4 p.m, 6 p.m, 8 p.m, 12 p.m, 10 p.m. God, no. As much as I love commentating, there is not a chance you would catch me commentating more than 4 times a day. I think I would rather rip my voice box out with my hands. As Adam asking, depends what the settings are. Anyone know if it's strict or regular? It is on strict. It's basically like every other league nowadays. It's on strict. You can't use steering assist, braking assist, and then you can't use anything like pit assist, straight mode assist, ERS assist, anything like that. But everything else, your usual stuff like your traction control and your ABS, manual gears, whatever, completely free to use whatever you want. Lily in the chat saying, haha, your poor voice box if you did that many. Honestly, like I say, I would rather pull my voice box out with my bare hands than, screw it, commentating that many times a day. But I'm sure with the growth of WRC, we will most certainly see a lot more races and a lot more action. And that will mean a lot more times that you beautiful people are hearing my voice. So definitely try and get used to it if you can. SJ in the Twitch saying, I need to head to sleep. See you, people. Good night, SJ. Take care, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. As Matt Connor leads then, Nova Piper comes into the pit lane. BP Ace now right on the back of this fight. And look at the strategy call from BP Ace. 6-lap old hard compound tyres versus 13, 10 and 12 lap old hard compound tyres. BP Ace is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this Austrian Grand Prix as he looks for the switchback at the top of the hill. Is he able to try and get through? He's going to get past F1 Mikey Boy and up into the final podium place. Little bit of contact between them. Will Mikey charge it down the inside? Yes, he will. 3 abreast into turn 4. BP Ace takes 3rd place then. F1 Mikey Boy down to 4th, looking to fight this back, but not able to get the position, as Damon saying, could imagine watching F1 on Sky Sports and hearing you commentating. That's a big, big compliment, Damon. So thank you very much for that. It's a McLaren 1-2 then. Here in Austria, Andy Price and Matt Connor battling away for the lead of this Grand Prix. But those two battling definitely isn't going to be helpful. Because look at BP Ace. Look at the exit out of the final corner. And BP Ace up into 2nd place. Is he going to look for the lead into turn 1? Had to think about it. But on the exit, a much better exit for BP Ace. And once again, in this Grand Prix, BP Ace now leads in the Styrian Mountains. Andy Price going to look to chuck it up the inside, but not able to get deep enough on the brakes. And BP Ace then through into the lead with the fresher tyres. Is there anyone that can stop this man here tonight? My honest answer would have been no. Harry asking JP, who's your F1 team / driver? Team, definitely Red Bull. Driver, it would either be Max Verstappen or Liam Lawson, to be completely honest. I can't really pick a favourite. If I had gun to my head and I had to pick, I'd say Max Verstappen. LeBron James #1 fan asking, is this just a race or a series? This is just a social race. The series are raced on Tuesday at 8 PM, Thursday at 8 PM, Friday at 8 PM, and I believe Saturday at 8 PM if I'm not mistaken. As Matt Connor and F1 Mikey Boy come into the pit lane then. As Lily in the chat saying, I think Ava should commentate. Now, if a lot of you aren't going to know this, Ava's the name of my dog. So I don't think my dog is going to be on the commentary. But I guess, you know, she does talk a lot. So there's always a chance that something like that would happen, knowing the dog. As we are now at 2,913 followers. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get to 3,000 followers in this stream? If you are not following already, make sure you're following. That is our goal. By the end of 36 laps, we want to have hit 3,000 followers here on TikTok. Lily in the chat saying, get Ava on the commentary. She talks an awful lot. She most certainly does. Very, very yappy dog, it must be said. Is Andy Price doing very well to stick with BP Ace at this moment? As M saying, low-key JP, try find some local races and start your commentating career there. Already way ahead of you, mate. I have reached out to many karting tracks near me, many different racing circuits as well. It's just all about trying to get your name out there. Do you know what I mean? And the growth of WRC and all that sort of thing has obviously been really helping. So maybe one day we will get through, and hopefully, you might hear me on Sky Sports F1 one day. QZRT saying, JP, this race is unrealistic. No Cadillac on fire. No, the Cadillac's running in 4th place, would you believe? You never would have guessed it. But Gerv running in 4th for Cadillac, and not far off the top 3, it must be said, as Nova Piper and Albon Lover do battle. Nova Piper gets past Albon Lover and up into 6th place. Is JF1 saying, no, don't leave us, JP. I won't leave for as long as I can. Don't you worry, my friend. As MUFC Zach saying, if you could go to only one F1 race, which F1 race would it be? Oh, that's difficult. If we're just talking from a racing perspective, I would have said somewhere like Silverstone, Austria, a race like that. If we're talking about overall, I would have probably said Vegas, because I feel like the atmosphere of a Vegas race would be absolutely brilliant. Verstappen asking, what team do I support? I support Red Bull, my friend, so you'll be very happy to hear that. As Jack Dawes saying, future F1 commentator. Thank you, Jack. I do really appreciate that. L. Lawson saying, JP, do you speak French? I can probably speak about as much French as somebody that doesn't speak French. Put it that way. I can say hello, and that's probably about it. LeBron James #1 fan saying, my home track is Vegas. I live 20 minutes from it. That must be absolutely brilliant. Damon saying, so when it's the break between races, what do you do? Normally, I speak to my girlfriend, or I see my girlfriend. Spend time with her, of course. Spend time with family. You know, get some lemsip, maybe. Try and calm down the old voice box. Have a drink, have some food, and yeah, just really try and chill out, because realistically, I'll have another race coming. You know what I mean? So I would much rather be commentating than not commentating, though. Put it that way. As Gerv runs very deep at the top of the hill and falls down into third place. Theo saying W commentary. Thank you very much, Theo, for the kind words in chat. As BP Ace continues to lead this Grand Prix then, CB runs in second, the gap out in front. BP Ace, 3.1 seconds in the lead. Lawson asking if we can see the penalties. We most certainly can. On the left-hand side of your screen, JF1 saying, don't lie, JP, you defo bleep with Blake and Ollie. I can't say I've done that yet, but I'm not going to rule it out forever. As Aviation says, JP will stay. I'll stay for as long as I can, but realistically, if Sky Sports F1 came knocking, I'm not going to turn them down, and I'm sure all of you understand that. As M saying, stay in TikTok commentary. If you commentate F1, you can't speak to the fans. That's very true. That is a nice part about commentating. As Albon Lover is out of the race, he's come into the pit lane and retired from the race, to the heartbreak of the fans. Adam saying he changed up, went for the bag. What, you're telling me, Adam, if you were a commentator and Sky Sports F1 came knocking, you wouldn't be signing the contract? Absolutely crazy. Crazy stuff. Gerv runs in second place then. Nova Piper in third. Emmanuel is in fourth, as everyone showing their dismay as Albon Lover retires from the Grand Prix. Adam saying, absolutely I would. I'll still judge. Of course you will, Adam. That's what I'd expect, to be completely honest. I'd be upset if you didn't judge me. Lap 29 of 36 in this race then, and it's BP Ace that leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Gerv runs in second with Nova Piper in third. Emmanuel is in fourth as Big Vin now retires from the race as well. We've now got 4 retirees in this session. Albon Lover saying he was lagging so much and couldn't handle it. Albon Lover, trust me, do not apologise. You have done your fans very well today with an absolutely brilliant drive. So congratulations to you, my friend. Incredible stuff. And I'm sure you will be back stronger in the future. F1 Mikey Boy is gaining towards the back of Emmanuel. Matt Connor right on the rear end of F1 Mikey Boy. Harry saying Cadillac just had a technical issue. To be honest, probably. It would not surprise me. The Cadillacs have had way too many issues in F1 26. I'm sure that it was just the engine blowing up, or, you know, something casual that happened. Matt Connor continuing on in 6th then. We have officially hit the 30s in laps. M saying, JP, I was at some F4 races a couple weeks ago in Zandvoort, and those 15-year-olds are crazy. Oh, yeah. I mean, watching the feeder series to Formula 1, sometimes it can really be better than Formula 1, as Matt Connor gets through on F1 Mikey Boy and up into 5th place. Emmanuel running in 4th is now right on the rear of Nova Piper. Nova Piper in 3rd. 6 seconds is the gap between Nova Piper and Gerv. Does Nova Piper have enough time to try and gain on BPA? So I do want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, if I change this to position change, let's all just have a moment of appreciation for BPA here. 21st, this man started. 10 laps in, he was leading the Grand Prix. Absolutely insane stuff. Gerv up 18 places. F1 Mikey Boy up 16. This Austrian Grand Prix has had absolutely everything. QZRT saying, JP, do you prefer Alfa Romeo or BMW? BMW is my favourite car brand, so most certainly BMW. If I could have any car in the world, it would be a BMW. BMW, definitely. All day, every day. There's F1 Mikey Boy gaining towards the rear end of Matt Connor once more. It doesn't look like Nova Piper is actually gaining on Gerv. Doesn't look like Gerv is gaining on BP Ace. And with 5 laps left in this race and the shortest lap distance on the Formula 1 calendar, I'm sure BP Ace will be smiling underneath that helmet, certain of an Austrian Grand Prix victory here tonight. QZRT saying, I'm an Alfa Romeo fan. I officially hate you now. I can accept that, QZRT. I can accept that. Don't worry. There's L. Lawson asking who has the fastest lap. The fastest lap currently is CB on the medium compound tyres, a 1 minute 6.7. The only man to have dipped into the 1 minute 6s so far. It's BP Ace that leads in the Styrian Mountains, then the Austrian Grand Prix. 4 laps left of this race, and it is the Haas car that is at the front of the field. Gerv in second, with Nova Piper running in third. Emmanuel is fourth, and right behind Nova Piper, Matt Connor, though, looks like he will be taking this on penalties, because 6 seconds for Nova Piper, 3 seconds for Emmanuel. Matt Connor on the fresher tyres. And he's the only man in this race, apart from BP Ace, that doesn't have a penalty. So Matt Connor definitely on for a podium place here in this Grand Prix. What a Grand Prix it has been, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible stuff from all of the drivers in this race. Especially, and I'm sure I speak for everyone, I say, from BP Ace as he moves on to lap 33 then. And yeah, the race isn't too realistic now. We've had an Aston Martin and a Cadillac DNF. Harry asking, are we doing another race after? No, today is the final... Well, this race is the final race of today. We will be back with you tomorrow at 12 p.m, 2 p.m, 4 p.m, 6 p.m, 8 p.m, and 10 p.m, I believe. So make sure you keep an eye on the TikTok account. Make sure you're following if you are new. Tomorrow we are surely going to hit 3,000 followers. Harry asking, is this UK time? Yes, it is. So in UK time, we're racing at 12 p.m, which is midday, then 2 in the afternoon, 4, 6, 8, and 10 in the evening. So a hell of a lot of races, trust me. Racing every 2 hours in WRC. I will personally be back with you at 6 p.m. for the 6 p.m. social race. So if you are interested in watching, keep your eye out for that. We've got Daikon commentating at 8 p.m. We've got Jack Crossley, I believe, at 4 p.m, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely a lot of racing. There's a lot of you talking about French in the chat. I'm not going to engage in that conversation. There's TTV Kian saying it's his little one's last lap before he goes to bed. So let's go on board then with TTV Kian. This has been a special race for Kian with his kid on his lap. And what a race this must be. As Lily, that is a wild comment to put in the TikTok chat, but I mean, fair enough, fair enough. As we move through then with Kian. Emmanuel does get by Nova Piper, those two still scrapping away. As LM saying, JP speaks some French. I think all I know is bonjour, je m'appelle Jacques. That is the best that I can give you in French, to be completely honest. As TTV Kian then continues on in the middle sector. Lily saying, what did I put? I put with Jack. I thought you were replying to a certain comment about JP on top. That's what I was assuming. As TTV Kian then round the final corner. What a race for TTV Kian. A special one for the Mercedes man who crosses the line. 13th place for TTV Kian. Absolutely brilliant stuff for him. as we're on the penultimate lap of this race then. And BP Ace moving on as F1 Mikey Boy and Emmanuel now do battle. And this is only going to be helping Matt Connor in this race take third place. There's Aviation saying Lily not on the Twitch anymore, not on the superior place to watch it. Both of them definitely have their benefits, I would have said. As on the penultimate lap, F1 Mikey Boy trying it down the inside of Emmanuel. I believe this is a battle for position. No, F1 Mikey Boy has 9 seconds in penalty. So just fighting away for the position on track. As Matt Connor is going to take this, realistically, due to the penalties anyway. As BP Ace then sets off on the final lap of this race. And what a way to win this race. A last to first challenge executed for the Haas man. Absolutely incredible stuff from BP Ace. As up the hill and into turn 3 he goes. Honestly, I'm starting to run out of superlatives for BP Ace. It has been absolutely mega. And every time this man is in a WRC race, you just know that he is going to be towards the top. Definitely driver of the day, Harry. I couldn't agree more with that. BP Ace then, through the middle sector he comes. And this is going to be a race win that 100% should be in the Hall of Fame. As towards the final couple of corners then, to end the day in style, BP Ace round the final corner with one of the most brilliant victories the Styrian Mountains will have ever witnessed. BP Ace wins the Austrian Grand Prix with an absolutely incredible drive. Gerv finishes second for Cadillac. Matt Connor comes home for third. Emmanuel finishes fourth with McLaren in fifth place with Andy Price in fifth. F1 Mikey Boy in 6th with CB in 7th. Nova Piper finishes in 8th with MCL in 9th. And Sidemen rounding off the top 10. Adam saying, Jack, have you been studying the English language? Superlatives. I know my stuff. I passed the English GCSE with flying colours, mate, I'll have you know. Don't be getting all lippy to me in the TikTok chat. As Jack Plays comes home in 11th. It's Kian in 12th place. Great race for Kian. As Aaron finishes in 13th. Absolutely incredible race to end the day here in WRC. What a Grand Prix. And BP Ace, last to first, completed it, mate. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and hanging out with me tonight, watching some brilliant racing action. My name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. Always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Thank you very much for the support on both the Twitch and the TikTok stream. If you are new, make sure you're following WRC Online League. I'll be back with you at 6 p.m. tonight. 6 p.m. tomorrow night. M asking, how fast does attendance fill up? Very, very quickly. You know you want to make sure that you get in quick, because otherwise you ain't getting a seat. As Adam says, I do know commentators get taken the mick out of all the time. That's very true, and you know what? I'm here for it. And yeah, honestly, what a brilliant stream. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. As I say, my name's been Jack. I'll be back with you tomorrow at 6. Jack Crossley will be with you at, I believe, 4 p.m. I'm not sure who's going to be on the 12 and the 2 p.m. race. Obviously, you'll find out when you tune in, because I know you all will. Absolutely brilliant support from all of you. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And until I see you, take care and ta-da.